My husband says we don't have a daughter. He didn't say it like a joke. He didn't sound confused. He said it calmly. Like he was reminding me the stove was still on. And the worst part. He said it while standing in her bedroom doorway. I remember the light from the hallway cutting across the carpet. I remember the stuffed rabbit on her bed. I remember the faint smell of baby powder in the air. He looked at me. Then at the room. Then back at me. And he said very gently, "We don't have a daughter." At first, I thought he was exhausted. Stress, lack of sleep, something explainable. Because we do have a daughter. We've had her for 4 years. Haven't we? Our house is small. 2 bedrooms, 1 narrow hallway. Every sound travels. When she runs to the kitchen, I hear her socks sliding on the wood floor. When she laughs, it echoes. When she cries at night, the sound pulls me awake. You don't imagine those sounds. You don't invent the weight of a child climbing into your bed at 2 in the morning. You don't hallucinate sticky fingers grabbing your face and whispering, "Mama." Or do you? The first time he said it, I laughed. I told him to stop being weird. But he didn't laugh. He walked into her room and flipped the light switch. Once. Twice. Nothing changed. No toys. No small bed. No pastel curtains. Just empty space. I froze. Because I could still see it. The bed. The toys. The drawings taped to the wall. But behind them, faintly, there were bare walls. Dust in the corners. An empty room. Like reality was buffering. I blinked. The toys snapped back. Her room looked normal. It had to be. I told him to stop. He stared at me, like I had said something horrifying. And then he asked, "Stop what?" Over the next few days, he kept saying it. Not angry. Not aggressive. Just gentle. "Why are you setting a 3rd plate? We don't need juice boxes. Why are there crayons in the living room?" Each time, I pointed. There. The cup with the cartoon bear. The tiny shoes by the door. The pink jacket on the hook. He would look. And for a moment, I saw doubt in his eyes. Then it disappeared. "There's nothing there," he would say. I started taking pictures. Her at breakfast. Her playing on the floor. Her asleep in bed. Proof. But later, when I checked my phone, the pictures showed empty rooms. Empty chairs. Blankets pressed flat. No child. Nothing. That was the first night. I locked the bedroom door. We still had the baby monitor. I kept it plugged in. It made me feel safer. Like a line connecting us. That night, after another argument, I lay awake staring at the ceiling. And then I heard it. Breathing. Slow. Measured. Too steady to be a child. I sat up. "Sweetheart." I whispered. Silence. Then, a soft giggle. The kind she makes when she is pretending to hide. Relief hit me so hard I almost cried. "She's fine," I muttered. The next morning, I told him. He went pale. And unplugged the monitor, hard. "We don't own that," he said. But I was holding it. He made a doctor's appointment. I didn't want to go. But I went. The doctor asked simple questions. "When did this start? How long have you believed this?" "Believed what?" "That you have a child." She's 4. I said. I described her. Her hair. The small scar on her chin. The way she refuses to eat peas. Real things. Specific things. Then the doctor asked, "Can you show me a birth certificate?" I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Because I didn't know where it was. When we got home, I searched everything. No birth certificate. No hospital records. No photos from a delivery. Just gaps. Clean gaps. Like someone removed a chapter from a book. But I remembered the hospital room. The pain. The weight of her on my chest. So why did he look at me like I was a stranger? That night, the house felt thinner. Like it was holding its breath. She didn't come to dinner. He said, "See." I said she was tired. I went to her room. It looked normal. But the air felt wrong. Cold. Dense. Her bed was there. But when I touched it, my hand met empty air. The image flickered. Bed. No bed. Bed. No bed. I stumbled back into the hallway. He was watching me. "Please," he whispered. "Please stop doing this." Doing what? Because I could still hear her humming. Softly. From inside the room. 3 nights later. I woke up to pressure on my chest. Not heavy. Just enough to hold me still. I opened my eyes. A small shape stood at the foot of the bed. Watching. "Mama," it whispered. But the voice was wrong. 2 voices layered together. One high. One low. It tilted its head. And for a second, it wasn't her. The smile was too wide. The eyes too deep. Then the bedroom door burst open. The light snapped on. The shape vanished. She was here. I gasped. He was shaking. "Stop saying that." But he wasn't looking at me. He was staring at the foot of the bed. Like he'd seen something too. And didn't want to admit it. Have you ever shared fear with someone who refuses to name it? The next evening, I decided to prove it. I stood in her doorway. "Come here," I whispered. Silence. Then a giggle. Behind me. The hallway stretched longer than it should have. The lights flickered. "Don't," my husband said. But his voice sounded far away. I stepped into the room. The walls rippled. The bed dissolved. The toys melted into shadow. And then, there was nothing. Just darkness. And a small hand in mine. Cold. Too cold. "Mama," it said again. But the word felt rehearsed. Like it learned it from me. "I'm here," I whispered. And that was my mistake. Because the darkness tightened. And I understood. It didn't need to exist before. It needed me to believe. To make space for it. To feed it. With memory. With fear. With love. The house snapped back. Walls solid. Toys scattered. I was alone. But the hallway was empty. No husband. No sound. I found him sitting on the couch. Staring at nothing. I asked where he went. "I never left," he said. Then I saw it. The cushion beside him. Indented. Like someone small had been sitting there. "Do you see that?" I asked. He swallowed. "No." But he hesitated. "We don't talk about it now. We don't mention daughters. We don't mention empty rooms. But sometimes, late at night, We both wake at the same time. Because we hear it. Footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Measured. Sock against wood. We lie still. We don't move. Because we understand something now. It doesn't matter whether we had a daughter. It matters that something wants us to think we did. And every time one of us doubts, the house gets colder. The hallway gets longer. The footsteps get closer. So we stopped arguing. We stopped correcting each other. Because the last time I said, "We don't have a daughter," the giggle came from right behind my ear. And something small wrapped its arms around my neck. If you ever wake up, and someone you love insists a person in your house doesn't exist, don't argue. Don't try to prove them wrong. Just listen carefully. Because if you hear small footsteps in the hallway tonight, it means.
If you're still awake, you're already one of us. Subscribe, the next story is worse.